Damn, I pressed the go live button. There we go. Now we're live. Yo, I pressed the go live button. I don't know how long ago, and it just took forever to load. Oh sheesh! I didn't even realize my phone was on. It was good. How's that little music thing going? It's going all right, I guess. There's some good days, some bad days. You know what I mean? Some days we sell beats, some days we don't sell beats. You know. What's the stream quality looking like? Because I upped the camera and everything, you know what I mean? What's good? How you doing? I feel like there's a big delay. Um on it, but whatever. Whatever. We'll get into it like right away, pretty much. The usual, because we got a lot of submissions to go through. I don't even know where to put my phone. I got so much stuff on my desk. Yeah. Let's see what we got today. Yo, this is taking forever. I'm not gonna lie. This intro is like we're a minute in pretty much, and the drums pretty much just dropped. I'm gonna give you a bit more time, but damn. Okay. My impersonation, or not my impersonation, my impression of this is that the drums, they're solid-ish. The 808 slides are kind of, they sound a bit amateur. I'm not a big fan of your 808 slides. I'm definitely not an 808 slide master by any means, but I'm not a big fan of your slides. I feel like you could have done better with the slides, and I think at like one note, the 808 did not sound too great with the slide, and that kind of threw me off a fair bit. I think there's some good stuff here. Like, I think the melody's pretty good, but I think you could have taken the melody a bit further with like more effects on it, just to give it a bit more of a fuller feel, I guess you could say. Like, you could have widened the melody. You could have definitely thrown some like detuning on the melody just a little bit. It would have given it a nice touch. The drums are okay. Like, I think the drums are weaker than the melody. The sample selection on it is okay. I wasn't a big fan of the 808 you used, but that's just me. It sounded like the 808 was missing all high end, and having some high end on your 808 is not a bad thing. Bro, this is literally the guitar from I forget what's no, this is literally the guitar from a Trippy Red song. Bro, I can't play that. That's literally the same guitar from that one Trippie Redd song. I forget what it's called. Jeez. My guy. You're trying to get me demonetized out here.
Troy, you are not crazy.
You know, I think like this is like the weird issue. My eyes are really itchy. I don't know why. I was playing with my dog. I'm allergic to my dog. That's a side story. But I think the 808 on this is just like so loud. And usually I like loud 808s, but it's like the 808's so much louder than the melody that like the melody's just not even there that much. So I think you could have definitely turned the melody up a bit. Also, the 808 seemed to be playing like some high notes. It might not have been bad to just drop it down like a few, drop the scale down a bit. Listen, I have my dog because I love my dog, regardless of health issues. Also, I didn't even get my dog. It's like my parents' dog. I agree. It's pretty catchy. I'm a bit iffy because it does get a bit repetitive. You know what I mean? And we have some limited spots for voting. So I'm gonna put this in a vote, whatever the button is. Will we throw this into the voting? I have to type that out. Because I have like no complaints with it at all, pretty much. I just think it's a bit too repetitive. That's like my only thing. You know? So I'll let y'all vote if this gets added into the voting. It's up to you guys. I feel like there's gonna be some like strategic votes here. That's pretty split. Jeez. God damn. All right, we won't, but it's pretty good. I will give you that. It's pretty good. I like the video too. Crash Bandicoot or whatever it's called. The poll was like 50-50 pretty much. Um, I wanted like an overwhelming majority because we only have 5 spots. All right, I will give you that. I'll give you that. Yes, did win. I'll give you that. That's the only time I will give you that. My complaint with this is pretty much the whole mix is kind of quiet. I would have turned up a lot of things, and your bass at first it kind of comes in on a high note, and it sounds a little weird on those higher notes. Um, and it also this whole thing it kind of sounds like it'd be in like a video game, like a mafia version of GTA. You know what I mean? Yeah, any type of music is fine. Alright, if we get like 20 Bob Raja songs, we're banning Bob Raja from beat reviews.
Come back, AGP. Yeah, beat your ups all the time, though. Yeah, we got the watch on my wrist, though. We gon' watch this shit glitz, bro. Yeah, lost my bro to the system. Yeah, and I watched him fall. From grace, he thought he had it all. Now for him, I got a ball. Spend the 50 at the mall. We gon' kill these people if they try to defeat all of my progression, yeah. It's some regression, yeah. We really got that shit, yeah. We got back to the trap and count them stacks. How much we made, 100 racks.
I ain't gonna lie, Bob Raja is getting better. I will give Bob Raja that. That's all I'll give him, though. He's improving. Slowly but surely.
I get my buckle from Italy. I get takeaway from Sicily. 100K, you kidding me? Bitch, I'm worth more than you ever be. I get my ladies from Spain. You can never be my main. Never give you the keys to the house. Might as well give you keys to the safe. We always Aussie for smoking the logs. Popping out oxy, pay no amount of cops. Ain't got no leads, but they know I'm a dog. That's drying craft from serving the raw. Got my degree rolling reefer. Got me a Spanish Latina. Think about it, and if she a keeper, I'ma splash out and buy her that visa. Taking out a pen and on the codeine. Smoking that gas in space, feeling so lean. Belly truck pro with the zine on the leather seats. I ain't even tripping about the mess, cause it's so clean. Put so many vibes, got my tongue going blue, yeah. I'm a spaz on the beat, I'ma go hard. Tryna do my work for my brain, go dark. Spilling bubble goldine on the go, I go crack.
That's a clean song. We will not be putting songs in voting, just because there was a lot of issues with that last time. But that is pretty clean. Y'all can check this out. That's actually clean. I like that. Do I open SoundCloud links? I will play them, but I won't open the link. Because, like, you can play them through Discord. Yeah, that click sound you have in there sounds terrible. I don't like that. It sounds like a weird, like someone's farting, but in 3 rooms away from me, and I'm not a fan of that. Other than that, like, there's some good ambience here. It's a little slow. It starts off, we're like a minute in, and you have like a build-up going on. I just want to see if this goes into something more. Okay. So I think you could have done more arrangement-wise, because it is pretty straightforward. Like, you just have this minute-long chill part, and then it drops into the chill part with this clicking sound, pretty much. I think you could have built on that and had more go on, and it would have been a lot better. It would have been more interesting to listen to. I think that's the best way for me to say that. The kick has got to be punchier than that. Your kick is not punchy enough. It's very thumpy, but it's not punchy enough. I would have definitely used a different sound than that hi-hat. The hi-hat has way too much high end. I don't really think it's a good sound for drill. And the melody's a bit plain. You just have chords, you know, just like do, and then you have this little counter melody thing up top, just playing a few notes. I think you could have done a bit more with that. Some of those slides too are a little weird. I think you have some good ideas here, but I think the guitar, like, I don't know, it sounds very fake, kind of. You know, the guitar on here just sounds very fake, really, like, happy for some reason, too. Last time I checked, Ian Dior kind of made more sad songs. It sounds very, like, happy, hopeful kind of vibes. The vocal chop you threw in there is kind of a cool touch. I like that. The drums kind of sounded drowned out a little bit. They weren't really pushing through the mix a whole lot, and I think you could definitely clean that up just by turning them up a bit. This is one of his first beats. That's a W. How do you have multiple first beats, though? That's the real question here.
Do not worry, you are prepared for this fight, Toby.
You have like a weird thing going on with your chords where it sounds like you have your chords in one key and then you keep changing key almost. That's kind of what it sounds like. Also, your 808 is either clashing a lot with the low end of your melody, which I don't think your melody had a lot of low end, or it's just a terrible sample, and it's a quiet sample too. So use better drum samples for sure. The hi-hat kind of sounded tacky too. I think you could have used a better hi-hat sample. But yeah, I think you could build on that for sure. Oren has a drill beat. Oren hasn't done drill in a while. Does anybody know when the last time he did drill?
Jay, turn it up a little.
I won't lie. The melody's good. I like the melody. I don't know if you did the melody. There's like some nice bounce with the drums, but the kick bounce at times kind of threw me off a little bit. It felt like it should have hit in different places, and I was just like a little displaced mentally from that. But still, like, it's got a lot of room for an artist. I think an artist could get on that for sure. It's solid. It's pretty solid. It didn't blow me away, but it's solid. Yeah, this belongs in a video game, guaranteed. I don't know if it's like because you have your kick and snare layered, but I don't think it is, because here it does not sound like your kick and snare are layered at all. But kick and snare sounds are very weirdly similar. You know, like just give it a listen. It just sounds like your snare is just missing the low end. I don't know, it's weird. So I would maybe use different samples. This is very much sounds like a video game music, like Flash Player video game, or what's that, like Castle Crashers kind of vibe. You know what I mean? Like not like a AAA title. Drake type beat. I'm like 99%. I'm 99% sure that you submitted this beat last month, because I've definitely seen this visual before and I've heard this beat before. So I'm just gonna move past it. This would be unfair if Troy wins, but you know what? Troy's got heat. Okay, Troy's got heat. They need to make new plug genres. The way that plug is just kind of staling out is they need new genres for it.
Troy Vicious.
I like it. I like it a lot. I feel like the Loop Raider did go crazy on the drum bus. Loop Raider is great. It felt a bit like it felt very low energy, which if that's what you're going for, then great, you accomplished that. Like it wasn't very like in your face kind of vibes. I think you could have turned the melody up by like half a decibel. But I'm iffy. Like I want to put it in the voting, but you are an admin, so I don't know. I don't know. Would that be fair? That's the question. What would it? We'll see.
Troy, you are not crazy.
So we had Troy, and now we have other Troy. So other Troy, I'm noticing like your drums are just very loud lately, and I know I've talked about on previous streams that like the 808s have been too quiet. I think you took it to another extreme where your 808s are a bit too much at times. Like maybe not necessarily loud, but they're just very in your face. And this kind of gives like a more chill vibe with the melody. Speaking of which, I'm not really a big fan of this melody. I think you could have done better with the melody. Um, Sound selection on it is iffy. Patterns for the melody or composition, whatever you want to call it, also a little bit iffy for me. You've done better in my personal opinion. ain't gonna lie, I'm not a big fan of the piano melody you have there. It's a little plain. Um, it sounds like weirdly hopeful, and the drums kind of come in and give you more of like a dark vibe. So I'm a little confused. Also, some of the 808s sounded just like weirdly timed, in my opinion. So I don't know, like it sounds like you're using Ample Guitar M2 Lite, but it sounds like you're using it on non-keyboard mode, so that like some of the notes do that weird thing where they don't play properly. Um, and it makes like your chords kind of sound wonky a bit, and they don't necessarily sound strummed, like they sound a little robotic. So you could definitely benefit from humanizing them. The first two bars of your counter melody were solid. I liked them. But then the second two bars and everything after that, pretty much, it just you went all over the place, and it got a little bit too much. The drums too. I think your drum mixing is really off. Like some of the drums are way too quiet. Like the 808. I didn't really like the slides you had. They seemed kind of weird. But yeah, I think those are some things you could definitely improve on. Okay, this is Troy Delicious's last submission here. So let's see if he blows us away, you know what I mean?
Troy, you are not crazy.
Yeah, I like the intro. I thought that water splash sound kind of got spammed in there a bit. Um, the 808 seems a bit too rumbly. Might just be the 808, might be the key or scale or whatever that you're in. So maybe you could move that up, try some things around. I think there's some good stuff there. The melody's solid. Pretty good, pretty good. So I think there were some good things in the melody, like the first like two bars, great. You had some good stuff there. Then the second two bars, you had this little bit at the end in like the counter melody or top line. I didn't really like how it ended. Um, and the melody overall, it kind of sounded like something that came from what's that like piano practicing application thing? It's like called melodics or something like that. Um, something like that. You know what I mean? That's kind of how the melody sounded. So it sounded very basic in a way. I think you could have definitely built on that, made it a bit better. Chords were good. I liked what you had there. Like it's a great starting foundation. The drum mix is really off. I think a lot of things were just not it. And the 808, I don't know what was up with the 808, but I don't like the 808 you had there. were like 2 seconds, just 2 single seconds away from making a great beat. Melody is cool. I liked what you had with the piano, the organ. You had some nice little accent sounds in there. I liked what you had. Then the drums just they flopped. I didn't like the kick. The 808 was kind of weird. I didn't like the hi-hat sample or the pattern necessarily. I think you could have done better with the drums, and the drums really held you back on that. I mean, there's some things to be happy about with this beat, but one thing I'm not necessarily happy about is the melody. Like, it was good, but then it kind of started going in this direction that sounded like it was like a Sims melody, like it came from the Sims game series, which was a little weird. The drums were okay. The kick, I wasn't really a big fan of. It kind of sounded like a blip in the whole mix, and I think it definitely could have been better. Also, what couplet, bro? What? Damn, what? Why are we calling it a couplet? Okay. No, it's like some poetry stuff now. Yo, I think there's some good stuff here. I just want to hear something again real quick. I don't know what I was trying to hear, but it was like there was like some low end in the melody that kind of sounded off to me. The 808 might have been just like a touch bit too loud. It definitely goes hard, but gets a little repetitive. I liked how you had some kind of switch up in there for sure, but overall it feels a bit repetitive and just a little too in your face at times. So I think the melody's fine. I don't really have much complaints about the melody. I have more complaints with the drums. Yo, my eyes. So my drum complaints. I would have just used a punchy 808 and not an 808 and a kick. I didn't really like the combination you had there. The 808 sample at times just it didn't sound as good as it could have. Oof. I wish I had eye drops. But yeah, that's my biggest takeaways from that. That's clean. I don't really know. It got me bouncing. It was nice. It was very vibey. This would definitely be on the, what's that thing called? What's it called? Like the lo-fi beats to chill and relax and study to, or something like that. It would be there. The anime girl would be studying. Clean. I like that. I just want to preemptively say I really hate the hi-hat sample. Actually, I hate most of your drum samples. The hi-hat sample is just the start. I don't like how it starts with the hi-hat. There is a groove here. It's probably your grooviest. It has a nice groove to it, but I think the drum samples hold it back. Didn't we like eliminate Arrow from submissions? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'm listening to these on my studio monitors, so I'm listening on the exact same thing that I make my beats on. I'm pinning this. We're already at like 5 pins. Here's what I was planning to do. We would go back to the pins and we would have like rounds of voting. Maybe we'd trim some out. Because I got a problem. Like I like too many of your beats. I think this is really good though. My only thing that I could maybe say is I think some more diversity in the 808, because it does get to a point where it's like too, not repetitious, but it's like too much at times. So I would just dial that back a bit. The melody's good though. This is definitely a style that I'm not too familiar with. So take my feedback with a bigger grain of salt than any feedback I've ever given. I didn't really like the drum sounds. I didn't like the drum sound selection. Also, the melody kind of sounded like it fits in Mario Kart on Rainbow Road. I don't know why. Maybe that's what you're going for. Galaxy in the Stars. I don't know. The drop could have been harder. But, you know, it's a cool vibe. You know, ever since I gave this man Wither this role, what is the role I gave him? Sound plug. I've been acting up. Okay. I don't like your sound selection for your synth. I really don't. I hate it. It sounds like one of the default sounds when you open up like, what's it called? It sounds like one of the default sounds that you open up in Serum. Yeah, I like the snare sample that you have there, though. Yeah, I think your sound selection's very iffy on this whole thing, though. Yo, W Panda. Participating in moderative duties. We got, yo, this man Troy has submitted 4 beats, man. Read the rules. And this one got the flame emojis too. I'm sorry. You gotta read the rules. You know what? You had a nice melody going, and the drums just detracted everything positive that I was about to say. So, I was about to say, like, you had a nice little melody, you know, it sounded all cool, all vibey, you could have gone in a great direction. And then these drums just were not there. They're there, but not there. The sample selection is bad, the mix on the drums is bad. And it really detracted from everything else you had. That rhymed. Listen, when Faded Wave is involved, I'm a fan. Y'all remember when Arrow was like, no offense, Arrow, but there was a time where you were not very good at producing, and you would ask me, like, you would DM me and you'd be like, yo, how do I make my drums hit? You've gotten there. You make your drums hit. This is good. I like the drum hitting. The sound, the melody's solid. Like, I don't have many complaints. And there's room for an artist too, you know, like, it's good. We got Panda here.
Below drama, take what's yours, bitch.
Panda, you don't miss. You literally do not miss. I've never heard a mid-beat. I was like pausing there because I was like thinking. I was like, did I ever hear a mid-beat from Panda? Nah. Yeah, we can't really do remixes. I'm terribly sorry. Yeah, I don't know if like your 808 is just off at notes or if your kick is clashing with your 808. Like at times, I'm not too sure. I think it's more of the 808s being off. Melody's fine, it's just a little too repetitive. I think there's a lot of good things here. It's just very, like, there's some harsh frequencies in the melody that can be a little bit off-putting. And I would definitely either, like, EQ those out or just pick a better sound. And in my personal opinion, the best solution whenever you have a bad sound is to just pick a better sound.
Hey, Psycho.
Yo, I like this. I don't know if it would fully fit with Travis Scott, maybe Don Toliver. I liked what you did. I liked the little wheezy vocal you threw in there when it dropped. I liked it. I liked it. I liked it.
Oh, that's nasty.
I mean, you have a lot of cool things going on here. But at the same time, like, here, I'll play a little bit more. And, like, you can kind of hear it sounds a little bit empty in a way. Like, there's not much going on. Like, it's a little plain, particularly with the drums. I feel like the drums are just, they're not where they could be.
The Saint.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I'm not a big fan of the snap in there. I really love though what you did with the 808s. Like you had some like cool effects go on with those. I like the string melody that comes in there as well. But I think the snap kind of detracts a little bit.
And legs, run it up.
Yo, this is hard. Um, Mlex, my boy, you're in your bag with that. I don't think the flute though was the best because it was like a little bit all over the place at times. But damn. The reason I did not pin that is it didn't necessarily blow me away. Like you've done a lot better, and what you've done before has blown me away. And I'm not necessarily like trying to hold you to a higher standard. I'm just saying it was good, but it wasn't. It was good, but not great. You know what I mean? I mean, it's good, but I'm not a big fan of the drum samples. I think the hi-hat sample in particular is one that I didn't really like. Also, the piano kind of sounds a little iffy. I would have definitely thrown like RC20 on that piano. You off the rip, your piano here kind of sounds a little robotic. Yo, that snare is super loud. And like the accent snare is kind of loud too. You know when Saint says this one's my best beat, it's gonna be a good beat. Also, I just want to say too, I feel like the piano melody didn't really fit in with the drums. Like it sounded like weirdly misplaced or displaced. I don't know.
The Saint.
Yo, that sounds like someone's Mongolian throat singing. Yo, that made me Roblox oof. That was clean. Jeez. You know what I like? Okay, I just want to say this. I want to highlight this. There's one thing that Saint Zark does with his beats that I've noticed is he always has a good mix, and his mix always comes out loud. I'm not sure why he like gets such a good mix that comes out loud. But he does, and it's great. Yo, thank you for the donation or whatever it's called. I hope I make it to yours too.
Baby, that shit crazy.
Low-key, the melody's a little bit too repetitive on this. Your kick's a little quiet. Honestly, I didn't really like the 808 sample you used either. I would have probably just used a different 808 sample. And you definitely want to throw some diversity in with that melody. I want to say too, like, by diversity, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to like completely change it. Like, you could change like 3 notes and it'll sound drastically different.
Baby, that shit crazy.
I'm sorry, but this 808 sample, I don't know if like you have an 808 and a kick or it's just a really punchy 808, but I'm not a fan of it. It's also a little quiet. Also, what is this picture of Lil Baby? Like, why does he look like that? We'll move on. We got Panda again. Also, throwback to when someone said all Panda makes is Juice WRLD beats, because this is definitely not a Juice WRLD beat.
And
Yeah, I like the arrangement that you have there. I think the drums could have hit a tiny bit harder, to be honest with you. And if they did hit harder, I would have replaced the Juice WRLD beat with this beat, to be very honest with you. I love the melody. Whoever made that melody, shout out to them. You know, just a little side note suggestion. Probably not the best idea to include the sound from the like the YouTube chroma key like subscribe button thing. I understand that you don't want your beats stolen, but probably not the best idea to include that. And the reason I'm saying that's probably not the best idea, like, that's comparable to someone spamming their tag all over the beat, or someone just like putting "purchase your tracks today" on the beat, you know? think the melody's great. You have a good melody here. The mix is kind of quiet. I think your biggest downfall here is the drum samples are not their best. I think you could have definitely used better drum samples. Yeah. It's like video game music too. By the way, Chuck, for those, I'm pretty sure that I said the videos were terrible and that whoever made the videos should just stop. Yo, honestly, as far as video game music goes, this is like stupidly hard. If I had to pick one word to describe it, I would say snazzy. Um, I'm not a massive fan of the drum samples, but I understand them from a genre standpoint if that's what you were going for. You definitely snapped on the melody. Definitely.
Shout my booty too. And
You know, I think we had this issue maybe like last beat review or two beat reviews. When you're mixing like a different genre than something than you're used to, um, so I'll say this in a more clear way, I guess. Someone previously was like they made a bunch of trap beats and then they went over to mix like a punk beat, you know? When you do that, you need to mix it like that genre. And punk beats, their drums are not as loud as trap beats. So their drums were mixed like trap drums and they were just really loud. And it seems like you have like a similar thing here where you're mixing kind of like your Juice WRLD beats. The 808s are a lot more quiet. The kick isn't really slamming in your face. So I would definitely change up the mix. Other than that, like it's fire. It's hard. Don't like stress it. Like I think the only reason this isn't the greatest, well, I wouldn't say the greatest. The only reason I'm not putting this in with the pinned beats is because of the mix. The mix detracted from it more than I would have liked it to. When you pitched up that vocal, like you pitched it up an octave, there were some frequencies in there that just sound really harsh and kind of painful. You could definitely EQ those out. The drums, they weren't really hitting. It had an interesting vibe to it though, I guess.
Hey, Psycho.
Where's the 808? Please. Hit me with the 808, please. I love 808s. I think there's a mixing problem with this. I think the melody is louder than some of the drums. And like you can hear it, it's drowning out some of the sounds. I think that definitely could be cleaned up. Also, the melody gets a little bit too repetitious. I mean, this is a cool vibe to it. It's very chill, but that's kind of all it is. Like, it's just chill. There's one thing I've learned about Egg is that Egg makes great music, but it's not necessarily like what you'd necessarily expect. I think I said necessarily like 3 times there. Like the last one I think was better than this one, I'll be very honest with you. This one's very chill, it's very vibey, but it kind of has like that background music sound. Like this is something that would be in the background of something going on. Jado, my boy. I don't know why, but the mix kind of sounded very thin, especially at the start. I'll play the start again just so y'all can hear. It sounded very thin. I don't know, maybe you could turn your mix up. Maybe there's just some frequencies that are just not there. You could fill up the frequency spectrum a bit better, probably. But yeah, I think that holds it back. I did not mean to press that.
Yo, yeah, can you play me that one beat?
think as far as plug and B melodies go, this is not one of the better ones. Um, I would have definitely done something different with the melody. I think the 808 as well. It's kind of a weird 808. Like some stuff is going on with it that I don't know. I would have used a different 808 sample, I think is the best way to put it.
I can see your motive. Why you getting close?
My boy. Come on. That's definitely from like a real song, no? I swear I've heard that before. I liked your use of the cowbell. I think the melody was very like ambient and spacious, which was very nice. The 808 was okay. I wasn't a big fan of the 808 sample, but overall, like it's pretty good. It's pretty damn good. Also, Kevin Durant to the Phoenix Suns. I'm still blown away by that.
Mars on the track.
Hey, Aaron, you crazy?
Yeah, I think there's some like good stuff here. I like the melody. I feel like the drums kind of are missing a little bit. Like they're there, but they're just not there enough. You know what I mean? Like I think it could be a bit better from that standpoint.
Hey, Mirage.
Yeah, I really like that melody. I think the drums are not as good as they could be. They're a little bit plain. Like the patterns on them are just a little bit basic. I ain't gonna lie, I'm not a big fan of the 808 sample that you used. The melody's okay. It would have been nice to hear it like chopped up a bit more, a little bit more choppy in like, you know, like that Dom Corleo style, if you know what I mean. It's cool though. It's got a nice vibe to it. Yeah, I like this, but I'm not a massive fan of the hi-hat sample used. I think the melody was really good. I like the vocal chop in it. I like the effects you put on the piano. It kind of sounds a little bit detuned, which is nice. Oh. Ooh, my allergies are killing me. The 808 was a little bit too quiet, I feel, and I think that definitely could have been a little bit better. Your Warheart killed the melody. Gorgeous melody. But the drums they're a little plain, I think. That's not like my biggest complaint with it. I really liked your use of toms in there. It's got like a nice little vibe to it.
Hit it again.
Melody is just drowning out the drums. And there's a lot of harsh frequencies in the synth you used, so I would definitely maybe use a different synth. I think this is really cool. I think you have some nice stuff going on here, but it's a little empty, you know, and I think it's a bit more empty than just requiring an artist. Like maybe something a little bit more in there could have definitely cleared it or cleaned it up a bit more, or finished it. I'm not even sure what I'm trying to say.
Has arrived.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a big fan of the chords. I think the drums are fine. The drums are definitely an okay thing here, but I think the chords that you have there are kind of, they're not it. Yeah, why is this like the exact same submission as before? This sounds like you probably changed it up, did something to it, but it sounds identical.
Times two, did it again.
One thing I'm noticing from your beats, Noishi, I'm not sure if that's how you say it, um, is that your melody is overpowering your drums oftentimes, like it's doing here. I think you definitely could turn your melody down, and then your drums would shine through a little bit more. Same kind of issue. Your melody is really loud, and then it sounds like you have an 808 or just a kick, but it's just very drowned out by the melody. Maybe you could cut some low end to free up some space, or just turn the melody down as well. Yeah, it's definitely an 808. Don't be afraid to turn your melody down. This is an older beat. One kind of sounds a little bit too busy. Definitely on the experimental vibes. I don't know about the Juice World vibes. Someone said I skipped theirs. I just went up. How up do you want me to go? I don't think I skipped any of them. Did I skip yours? I don't know about that one. So apparently I skipped one. I did. Damn, my bad. Okay, we'll finish this one. We'll go right back to that. Nah, I just put him in a timeout. YouTube automatically deletes it, like all of his messages, or hides them at least, until the timeout's over. Wait, I'm confused. I'm very confused. Okay, never mind. I think the 808 though goes to some notes that I don't like it on. And that's probably my like biggest complaint with this. I don't know, that one snare kind of sounded like a weird timing thing. Oof. And the 808 just kind of sounds a little bit too quiet for me. Alright, that track doesn't exist anymore. I really like what's going on with the melody. The drums are pretty good. I'm just not a massive fan of the clap sample. It sounds a little bit too sharp. You have the 808 really sitting behind in the mix, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, just because of the nature of how this kind of sounds. But at the same time, it's a little empty from the melody standpoint. Like, it just sounds like you have the piano, pretty much.
Baby, that shit crazy.
I hate your snare sample so much. I'm so sorry, but that snare sample, I don't like it. I don't like that little bell one shot that you threw in there. So one thing I just want to say is, like, this is like, what's throwing me off is you say you have like a relaxing hip hop beat, right? But then there's then there's this picture of like this demonic child. I'm not relaxed if I see that.
Oh my god, is that Almighty on the beat again?
Some of the notes that your 808's playing, I'm not a big fan of. And I think some of the low end from the melody kind of clashes with the 808. Kind of sounds like there's absolutely no high end of this whole beat. Like you took an EQ and just dropped all the high end out. And I think that's kind of making your mix sound a little thin. Bro wants me to listen to a 45-second intro. I'm terribly sorry, but no. You have a cool melody here for sure. I don't really like some of the drum samples you have, like the hi-hat sample. I'm not a big fan of. I think it kind of detracts from what you have going on.
I'm ready. Run it up.
I think this is good, but my one complaint is I would have preferred the 808 pattern to go a bit differently. We're gonna skip ahead because you say the build-up starts at 55 seconds, so you have a 55-second intro. Some of the notes are just they're kind of out of key. This mix is aggressive. I'll go back to it. You need feedback on this part? On this part. I think my opinion still kind of is the same. It's just I'm not a big fan of the 808 pattern. I like what you have. It sounds like you just used a spin. I would have maybe turned the spins up a little bit more. Make it hit a bit more, but the 808 pattern I think is still like my biggest complaint with it. It sounds like it's from the soundtrack for Battle Block Theater. Yo, Mlex is already pinned. It's either I replace the one he's already got pinned. I'm pretty sure he's already pinned. Yeah, it's either I replace this one or I keep that one, you know, and I already think that that one's better. I like that switch up with the lead, but I don't like where it's going. There's some good stuff here. But it's a little like, it's all over the place.
I would like to introduce.
I don't like the 808 sample you used at all. The guitar is great. I like the guitar a lot. And I don't like the snare sample either. Yo, it kind of sounds like the rack snare. Yo, same kind of issue. The guitar is fire, but the drums, like the sound selection on them, really is not it. I think you need better drum sound selection, or you just need better drum sounds. Like the 808 is literally fighting with the melody at times. Okay, fine, Mark. I listened to your begging. I will not skip the intro.
Key Kelly.
Hey yo, lock it up.
I could low-key hear It's Okay to Cry on this. I like it. There were some times where I did feel the 808 was kind of fighting, but other than that, it's pretty good.
I would like to introduce.
I'm not gonna lie, the piano kind of sounds like it's out of a nursery rhyme. I don't like that little thing you're doing with the clap there either. The kick and the 808 are kind of fighting at times. I definitely would have turned the 808 up a tiny bit too. All right, we got the final one from Egg. like what you've done with the melody. Your melodies are crazy, low-key. Like, you've got good melodies. I think the biggest detractor for me is the drum samples in here. Like, they get a little too much at times. Yeah, I like this man's profile picture. I think you're having like an issue where your kick and 808 kind of clash a little bit too much. And there's some things you can do with that, like phase alignments. You can just make the waveforms line up a little bit better. You can also EQ slot them together so that they don't clash as much. Those are just some recommendations. We got another Bob Raja song.
Tryna pay my little 1-2-1, but I know it's coming in. And I know these bitches wanna fuck up coming in. Yeah, culminated all my shit, I'm winning out. Yeah, we really got the killing now. I been talking all that shit straight from the keyboard, but you know I'm killing shit.
Okay, that's enough Bob Raja for this year.
Come back, AGP.
I think some of like the lead is let me restart my sentence. I think the lead gets a little too crazy at times, but I think it's pretty good.
Hey yo, lock it in.
Yo, Lock, I think you could turn that 808 up a tiny bit. It's kind of clean, but like the overall mix is just a little bit quiet.
Hey, Dyer, this some fire.
I'm not a big fan of the melody. The melody is a little bit plain, a little bit. It's just basic. Like, there's not much going on with the melody. The drums are okay at first. Like, the 808 kind of just sounded a little too rumbly, but once it kind of dropped, it cleaned up. Yeah, I think there's a lot of good things here, but I think the mix is not one of them. The mix is just like the drums are too loud. They're kind of overlapping the melody a bit too much.
Come back, AGP.
That one synth sound I'm not a big fan of. It's a little harsh, but other than that, like I think this is pretty good. So we got another Bob Raja song. This is the final Bob Raja song. If there's any more, we're not listening to them.
God, yeah, you know that the eyes we gon' drop. Ring through a city, there's no need to be greedy. I am chill in my Bugatti.
I love you, Faded Wave. You're a goat.
And I find out if you're free. I'm in the future, I can't really find anything here, but we're just getting started, going on an adventure. Charted, seeing things shine so bright. I don't feel terrified. There are no monsters here. Everything is in the clear. Face right now, yeah. But love the taste in my face right now, yeah. I wanna do this shit like a maze right now, yeah.
All right, let's move on. The mix is like overall really quiet. The 808's especially quiet. I'd turn that up like half a decibel max.
Hey yo, lock it up. Yo, Locke, I don't know if you're still here. I pinned one of your other beats. Which do you prefer having pinned? Because I like both of them equally. This one's good. The other one, this one here is also good. Which one do you want pinned? Because they're both clean. Like, they are nice. Which one? Please pick, because this is nice. This is nice. They're both nice, but very different vibes. You can't have both pinned. You can only get one. You can only get one. I'm sorry. They're both good. I'm like... I'm torn, because they're very different vibes. God. You want this one? Or do you want this one? Okay? Let me know, please. You want the first one or the second one? Voting will start once we're done reviewing. Locke, my guy. You can't just say this one. there's a delay for stream. I need to know if you want the first or the second one, please. Please, second one? Okay, got it. We will unpin this. Yeah, remove it, please, because Locke has chosen. Locke has selected. You can't change your mind now. Let me just make sure that's pinned. Yep, okay, good. Listen, okay? There's been too many times that I have made a beat and I have gotten a copyright claim for it sounding similar to another beat or another song. There's been times where it didn't even sound similar. I was literally just playing an 808 clap and a hi-hat in one of my videos, and I got a copyright claim for that. So I ain't gonna risk it. I'm terribly sorry. I ain't gonna risk it. It's the dumbest thing, but it happens. I don't know why. That's clean. I liked what you did there. I don't know if you made the melody, but I like the melody too. I think there's some harsh frequencies in this. I just want to say that. I mean, there's some interesting stuff here, but the harsh frequencies just they kind of make it a little hard to listen to. And if you're really set on using that sound, I would just EQ them out. Eros, this is cool. It's very vibey, low key. The 808's a bit quiet though. Roz, whatever this name is. I would have personally used a piano that has a little bit more character than this. I definitely would not have used that snare. And the reason I wouldn't have used that snare is because it has way too much tail on it. The mix isn't really a trap mix. It's kind of weird. And I think as well, that little snare roll you had, the sample for that kind of sounded a little ticky, kind of sound like a tacky kind of sound. And I'm not even gonna comment on the siren.
Jado, wake up.
This is fire for Jersey Club. I think, however, the overall mix is kind of quiet, so feel free to mix a little bit louder. your guitar that you're using really detracts from this because it sounds very inauthentic. Got an Ice Spice type beat. What's good, y'all? God damn. Beats here, and today.
What's good, y'all? Rlybeats here, and today.
What's good, y'all? Rlybeats here, and today we're going to be talking about how to make hard melodies for Lil Durk. I just want to say thank you to the channel members that are displayed on screen right now. If you want to become a channel member, you can press the join button down below and gain access to exclusive extra perks. Now let's get right in.
What's good, y'all? Rlybeats here, and today.
Yo, is there a knocking sound in the beat? It sounds like someone's knocking on my door.
What's good, y'all? Rlybeats here, and today.
What's good, y'all? Rlybeats here, and today. What's good, y'all? Rlybeats here, and today. I just want to say thank you to the channel members that are displayed on screen right now. If you want to become a channel member, you can press the join button down below and gain access. This is the hardest Ice Spice beat I've ever heard. What? That was intense. There was a lot happening. It sounded a little bit too muddy. Like, just muddy from the standpoint that there was just so much happening. I'm just left in confusion. Yo, I love what you did with this. Like, you chopped it up real nice. I like how the intro went into it. I think the drums overall, though, are a little, like, I'm not big on the drum samples here. Some of them I like. I like the snare a lot. I would have turned some things up, though, with the drums. It's clean. It's clean. You got some good stuff there. I think it's mainly the kick that I'm not a big fan of. Very unfinished. Yo, the bit crush that you had put on the snare was a good idea, C. Joe. Your low end is fighting. There's just not much happening, particularly with the drums. This is the best drill song ever made.
So here's how I do my drill drums. So I highlighted the bass lick with the drill hi-hat. It kind of sounds like a horse. And pretty much everything else that's going in is just accent and kind of so this is what it sounds like. Then I do my snare based on how the hi-hat sounds and when the snare kind of fits for me. 808.
Alright. Goddamn. There's not really much going on here. You was that the other one you? I don't know. Either way, it's just not very complete, and I would like to see it get complete. You have like a kick and an 808 going there that just don't really get along. I think that could definitely be cleaned up. My only complaint, I'm not a big fan of the hi-hat sample, but I do like what you've done with this.
You're taking up as fast.
I don't really like the hi-hat sample. I didn't like some of the rolls you had there either. I also wasn't a big fan of that little counter melody you had come in.
Alex, this is wild.
I like this. I think you have some good stuff here. I do, however, think the piano is a little bit lacking character. Some good ways to add that is just with some D-tune or some like RC20, something like that. Just kind of clean it up. This man submitted a YouTube short. I think it's fine. I just think the 808, the drums they're just there, you know? I would like them to be a bit more part of the beat, have a little more character going on.
Hey, Diet, it's some fire.
It sounds like some notes the 808's just going too high. .808's very punchy. That might just be a kick, but it doesn't sound like a good punch to the 808. It kind of sounds a little funny. So maybe just try to use a different 808. I'm just gonna say, like, I will play the last 4 seconds, don't worry, but I thought that this little, like, I can show you on the screen a bit, actually. I thought that little melody here was a little plain. Like, there wasn't anything happening. It was a little boring. You brought in these melodies, which they're fine. They're good. They're a little too repetitive. Your drums are okay, but there's I think it's the clap here. I didn't really like the clap sample a whole bunch. You're hearing directly from, like, what you are hearing is directly from my PC, so Discord. What I'm hearing is I have studio monitors, one there, angled like 45 degrees, you know what I mean, at me, because that's like a better way to have yours set up, and that's what I'm hearing. So what I'm hearing is exactly what I hear when I make a beat. I just mute the microphone. I just mute the microphone so no feedback comes in. I didn't really like the 808 in this. 808's a lot. There's a lot happening with it. I don't recall, excuse me, I don't recall if I listened to yours, but there was definitely some Trip at Night beat that happened earlier. I don't think it was yours, though. So it sounds like the low end from your melody and 808 are kind of clashing, and then on top of that, the kick is clashing with your 808 a little bit. I really liked the little drop you had there. I liked that quite a bit. It was actually really cool. It was a nice touch. You had the riser into it, which was nice. Good transition, in my opinion. Yeah, mainly the things that I pointed out there with the low end clashing. What you could do to clean that up is just cut the low end out of your melody. Like, not too much, like 100 hertz. You don't need to cut crazy amounts. And that'll free up some space for the 808. And then you can phase align the kick and the 808 pretty easily. So just line up the waves of the kick and the 808. And then you could also EQ slot the kick in the 808, so there's some frequency space for both of them. Ho ho ho. Merry Christmas. That was like a few months ago, my guy. So this was sent to me a long while ago because we did the whole little like Christmas beat thing, and this was one of the submissions. I think my issue then was the melody. I'll play the beginning again just so you can hear. I think you're using a one shot, and it kind of gets a little muddy in the lower end that you have, and some of the chords just they don't sound very nice together. They sound a little bit too dissonant. Yeah, that chord right there sounds very dissonant. I'll play that one more time. And having a super dissonant chord like that, it can be good in context, but the context here isn't very good. There's some good videos out there just explaining like the context of dissonance a bit better, but yeah. I just want to comment on one thing. Excuse me. From a branding perspective, you have your name here and then you have your name there. So it's a little bit too much, you know, like you don't want to shove your name down people's throats. I do like the beat here. You have a nice little like ambient kind of sound to your melody. There's one 808 note that I feel goes a little bit too low, but it's okay. I think I will throw this in with the pinned. It's good. And the cutoff was 1. I will give this 1. I'll give this a chance. This didn't load for whatever reason, but it has the same name. I think it's another one.
Sometimes I do what's fucking with my mind. I sit and smoke a blunt.
Yo, I'm just like superstitious of copyright strike or anything like that. So never mind to what I just said. So we're gonna pretty much like from here we have, let me count. I think we have 14. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, right? I'm not miscounting, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we have 14 beats. YouTube voting, or polls I should say, only lets you have 5 at a time. So we're breaking this down into 3 brackets, okay? So there'll be the first bracket of the first 5, second bracket of the next 5, and then the final bracket of the last 4. And the winner of each will go to the next round of voting. So it'll be 3 beats. You can vote for which one you like best. So I'm going to play the 5 beats kind of in full. Yeah, I'll play the first 5 in full, and then we'll vote. How's that sound? That sounds fair? And then I'll play them again while voting's happening. So that's the first beat. Also, I just found out that you can only do 4 in a vote at a time, so there's gonna be four brackets, I guess you could say. So this is the first one. This is from HWKNS, and this is the arcade plug type beat. So now we have Troy Vicious with his River beat. So again, that's Troy Vicious, River. Now we got Coffee Addict with Anime Beat. So for the, yeah, I think that's the third time I'm saying that. Coffee Addict, Anime Beat, and then we got Arrow to complete bracket 1. Alright, so I will play the beats back while voting is happening, so y'all can vote, and then the poll will go up. That's pretty much how this is going to work, alright? So, yeah, voting is going to start pretty much right now. All right, it looks like the votes are in. We've got decent voter turnout, so that will end round 1. So that looks like from bracket 1, we will have Arrow make it to the next bracket. Yeah, by a decent margin, pretty good margin. So poll is over. Congratulations, Arrow. You are moving on to round 2, which is technically the final round. So I'll just remove these. And you know, I really did like some of these. I'm not gonna lie. So then for bracket 2, we'll have Panda, Psycho, Mlex, and Saints Argyle. These are some loaded brackets. Jeez. But I'll start playing the beats now.
Below drama, take what's yours, bitch.
That is, my bad. That is Panda, Juice WRLD beat. All right, that's what it's gonna be. Then we got Psycho with a Travis Scott, Don Toliver type beat. My bad.
Hey, Psycho.
That's Psycho with the Travis Scott beat. Now we got Mlex with Divine.
Mlex, run it up.
Alright, so that is Mlex with Divine. Now we have Saint Zark, okay, with a Ring. I'm pretty sure this is a drill beat too.
The Saint.
Alright, so we're going to do the voting like I did before. This is bracket number 2, and I will play the beats while the voting is happening. Okay, yo, this voting is super close. Let me just show y'all. You can probably see this, right? I shouldn't show y'all that. You guys can probably see this, right? Like, look how close this is. Wow. Jeez. I don't know if it's been a while since we've gotten another vote. It's tied. Damn. Damn. All right, by a very narrow margin, Saint Zark won with some last-second votes. That was very close, though. That was crazy. That was awesome. I loved all of these beats. So you know what? Like, it's always sad for me to take them out, but jeez, I did not see that coming of how close that was. That was tied like 6 times. Jeez. All right, so bracket 3. I think we're on bracket 3 now. So bracket 3 will be a bit smaller because there's only 6 beats left. So I'm breaking up bracket 3 into 3 beats. So I will play them. So we got Kim first with this R&B beat. again, that was Kim with an R&B beat. Now we got AGP with a plug beat. My bad, let me correct myself. AGP with a plug-in B beat.
Come back, AGP.
So that's AGP with a plug-in B beat, and then we got Lock. I don't even know what this beat is, but it's hard.
Hey yo, lock it up.
Alright, so that is Lock's beat. So I'm going to put these up now for the bracket number 3. I'm pretty sure I wrote that down right, yeah. Bracket number 3, I'll play the beats back, and yeah, let's get to voting. Alright, so with some excellent voter turnout, let me just show my face. With some excellent voter turnout, it does appear that Locke will win by a landslide. So Locke, you will be moving on to the final bracket. That poll is ended. I'm sorry, Kim. I loved all your beats, but that will not be in the final bracket. Alright, and here is the 4th bracket. This will get the last spot in the final 4, I guess we'll call it. The final 4. We got Lamour, I guess, Lammer with Beat Band. Band Beat, who knows? Alright, so that's Lamore with Band Beat. Now we got Atmos.
What you doing, Atmos?
That is Atmos, and now for the final one in the fourth bracket, we have Foxin with his Dro Kenji beat.
Foxing up on the beat.
All right, I'm going to put the poll up now, and we'll get to voting. All right, by a pretty decent margin, it looks like Lamore, whatever your name is, has won his bracket and will be moving on to the final bracket. So we have our final four. Sorry, Atmos, you're gone. Sorry, Foxin, you are also gone. I loved all your beats. So we have the final four of Arrow, Saint Zark, Locke, and Lamore. Arrow won last month for Producer of the Month. Saint Zark won the month before, and Locke, he just makes great beats. Lamore is the newcomer here. So I think we've all heard the beats. I will put up the voting very soon, but I'm just going to have to run this ad real quick. I'm terribly sorry. Oops, I pressed the wrong button. Yeah, this is the first time I've ever ran an ad during a stream. Oops, I just realized my mic wasn't muted. I'm gonna be honest though, I don't know how YouTube ads work because I'm more familiar with Twitch still. I don't know if like the YouTube ads just play and they don't really tell me. Like Twitch would tell me if they're playing or not, whatever. You want the glasses? What glasses? Anyways, I'm gonna put up the poll in like 2 seconds. I'm gonna play the beats while the poll is going. So yeah, let's get to voting. You've all heard them before multiple times now. And good luck to the final 4 contestants, I guess we'll call them. All right, the votes are in. Let me double check this real quick. We got 33 votes right now. We have a 82.5% voter turnout, and it looks as though Arrow has won. However, Arrow did win last month, and I am made aware that a mod has informed many people that if you won 1 month, you can't win the next month. So that rule is in play. That is my bad. So it will go to lock. The poll is over, by the way. I'm ending the poll. So it will go to lock. Congratulations to absolutely everyone, because y'all made some fire beats. Jesus, like these are every one of these. Like personally, if I had to vote, I don't think I would have been able to. Every vote here was clean. I liked what y'all did. That's also gonna end this beat review for this month. We'll have another one next month. And yeah, again, congratulations to everyone. Thank you for submitting your beats, and peace.